Just got an update. Well, it did after the game Chaturanga, which was the first version covered in my previous YouTube video. Chaturanga was adopted into sh-shatranj, which is Arabic, or Chatrang in Persia. Chatrang was first introduced saying check when the king was under attack. This was done so the game wouldn't accidentally end early. Later on, Persians added the rule that the king could not move itself into a check or be left in check, so the opponent couldn't just take the king. Compared to Chaturanga, where the king could be captured, the king could not be even allowed to be captured in this game. Later on in history, of course, not at first. The rules remain relatively the same to Chaturanga, adding little to what we know of today. For instance, we also first got the dark squares in this version of the game. This game also shows the first recording of the analysis of opening moves, chess puzzles, and more. Now, the famous puzzle known as a knight's tour, which is a sequence of moves of a knight on a chessboard such that the knight visits every square exactly once, was first made in this time period. I will now show you a famous puzzle at the time, where the nobleman who is playing chess wagered up his wife to solve this puzzle. Note that at the time, it's not a bishop, it is the elephant. And the elephant is able to hop over pieces up to two spaces. So if a piece was in the way, elephant would be able to jump over that piece. I will now show you this puzzle. It is called the Dalai Ram problem, and I will give you a few seconds to solve it yourself before I show you the solution. The solution is rook h8 check, king takes h8, bishop or elephant at the time f5 check, king g8, rook h8 check, rook takes h8, g7 check, king g8, and then finally knight h6 checkmate. And at the time, the wife then said, sacrifice your two rooks, but not me. The first written work on chess was in the Fihrist, a bibliography made in 988 AD. This included an entire section of chess, like the Book of Chess, Fun with Chess, 2 volumes of chess, strategies of chess, and the intent of strategies in chess, written by a few authors at the time. We also first got rankings in this time period. Now, the best you could be was the Al-Adli, or the Grandee. This is basically the Grandmaster of the time. Then we got the Proximes, players who could win 2 to 4 games out of 10 against a Grandee. They receive odds of a pawn from the Grandee. Better players would get the G, A, or H pawn, and the weaker ones would get the D or E pawn. It was also third class, where the players would receive the odds of the Fihrist, which was basically the nerfed queen of that day. Fourth class was the player who received odds of a knight against the Grandee. And the fifth class was the player who received the odds of a rook. And that was a little bit about Chatrang, the game before chess, but the first update of chess.